Hey everybody, welcome back to our movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. A little bit of a resurgence in content, been just catching up on a couple of films here and there. Just been a little more into watching movies lately, so just been catching up on some stuff. We caught up on some films from 2024, and now we are entering 2025 in terms of the content there. Now, obviously, I will be revisiting some, or catching up on other films from last year, namely Nosferatu. I still want to see, but we're just gonna move into 2025 and talk about some of the content there. And we start off with this piece, which I was actually very curious to see. That film being Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Vile, which came out a few weeks ago. Directed once again by Nick Park, who I believe is the founder of the Aardman Studios, or at least is the creator of a lot of their content, a lot of their notable characters, Wallace and Gromit being the origin point for the Aardman Studios. And Aardman Studios, you guys are very familiar with, people who gave you Chicken Run, of course Wallace and Gromit, most recently films such as Early Man. So very well known for their stop motion animation, and they're back once again with Wallace and Gromit, bringing them back once again in a feature-length film, this being their second feature-length film, first of which was of course The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which came out in 2005 and I really enjoyed. And this is apparently the sixth film, generally speaking, because they do a lot of shorts with the Wallace and Gromit characters. Like I said, their origin point of the studio was with Wallace and Gromit when doing shorts back in the early 90s. So it's their bread and butter. And they are back once again with another feature. And this tells the story of Wallace now inventing kind of coming into the modern era of a sense, inventing now a piece of AI technology in the form of a garden gnome. And the garden gnomes are able to perform tasks around, gardens and make everything all neat and nice, and neat and tidy, as they say, as the robots say. And Gromit is feeling a bit left out. He's feeling not as involved as he used to be, as the gnome seems to be taking a lot of his place within this dynamic. So some jealousy is being formed, some biases, towards technology. And whilst this is all happening, an old foe of the Wallace and Gromit duo by the name of Feathers McRoy, I think I say it, who is a penguin, he's locked up in prison, and he is finding a way to get out of the prison to reclaim his old prized possession, which was that of the Blue Diamond. If you guys are familiar with the Wallace and Gromit shorts, Feathers McRoy is a character from the past, so he's not some new thing. It's an old thing from the old shorts, and he is looking to take his vengeance, most foul, as the title is, on Wallace and Gromit, and eventually his plans start to fall into place, and Wallace and Gromit once again need to take down an old foe. So as you could tell by my knowledge of Wallace and Gromit, I'm fairly vetted on the series, and I am a big fan of the Wallace and Gromit series. I think that in terms of what Aardman has created, I think that Wallace and Gromit is my particular favorite in terms of both by style, by animation, and by generally just the vibe. I really enjoy the company of these two. Chicken Run, I think, is their best piece because I think that there's a lot more commentary that is there, and I think a lot more of an underbelly. But in terms of just pure entertainment, Wallace and Gromit wins out for me. And the charm of Wallace and Gromit has never waned. I think all of their the shorts that they've done. I've seen I think a good amount of their shorts, and they're always delightful. They're always charming, and they're always carrying a sense of of distinction within their playfulness. It's not something to where it just feels tacked on or feels outdated. It just feels so how should I say it? Like, it's like when you eat something and it's something that is still so good, but it's a taste that you're familiar with. But every time that you take a bite out of it, it's just so delicious, and it hits the same notes and it hits the same feelings. It never fails to impress. And in the case of Wallace and Gromit, And to an extent with this specific film, we get a piece that just, again, falls in line with what this collaboration is, what this duo is. And you get a film, again, that is fairly charming, fairly, compelling, and just a delight. I was having such a fun time with revisiting these characters again. To note, the voice of Wallace unfortunately had passed away a few years ago, so there's someone else taking his place, and he does a magnificent job. He is a great, great replacement. I could not, if you told me that it was still the same person from many years ago, I would have been convinced, because the man does such a brilliant job of being able to capture what that original voice actor did. Just perfect in terms of just the overall voice. And just generally speaking, the vibe of it is still intact. The spirit is still there. Their overall pacing, the overall delivery of its humor is still intact. It's still fairly funny. The thing that it does carry that I do believe to be an issue is that of predictability. If the sense of familiarity is there, but that sense of familiarity, as I've illustrated, is that it is a sense it's a sense of satisfaction. It's not a sense of where it feels, oh no, like, why are we doing this again? It's a sense of satisfaction because of what was the original films. They're delightful and wonderful and charming. So to have those feelings resonate once again here, it's great. But it is bearing a sense of predictability this time around. There isn't a lot of twists and turns to the story. You know where things are going to go. It's pretty easy to pick up on what's going to happen next. But aesthetically, it is still astounding. I think that generally with stop motion, just generally what Aardman does, I think it's wonderful how, the way they're able to craft their worlds. Each time I'm always amazed by it, and with this, it's no exception. I think that it still bears a lot of the charm. I think it still bears a lot of the delight, a lot of the thrills, a lot of the downright fun, the entertainment. It's another just sweet and very just a very, very enjoyable piece. I had a great time revisiting these characters again, and I'm very happy to report that the charm is still there. And I like that they add a modern element, but not a modern sensibility. They're still understanding to maintain a sense of charm, that original sense of charm, that original sense of spirit. And it doesn't feel chalked down. It doesn't feel weathered. It still feels strong. It still feels passionate. And, like I said, it was their bread and butter. So I'm happy to see that they also see that, and it's important. You could tell it's important for the studio, for them to maintain a sense of that original identity, and not just whittle it down to something more modern and cutting edge. It's just it's still delightful and still fun, and I'm very happy with that. So I think it's still I still think Wallace and Gromit as it is. I think it's the best thing that the studio has ever made, and that's just the charm of it, outweighs that of what I believe is very, very interesting social commentary to that of Chicken Run. But yeah, I love Wallace and Gromit. I think it's a great series, and I think that they still continue in that sentiment. I still think that the series is going strong, and I think for what this feature brings, is it better than the original feature, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit? I don't believe so, but does it still have the charm? Does it still have the fun? Does it still have the delights, the thrills? Does it still resonate? To me, yes. Is it predictable? Yes. But I find myself still having a lot of fun and a lot of a good time with this duo. And by just the craftsmanship, it is still, Aardman just proves to still be really, really talented, and still proving to be very just wondrous in their overall aesthetic and overall just presentation. So yeah, so there's my thoughts on Wallace and Gromit's Vengeance Most Fowl. I had a great time with it. I thought it was a very good piece. I wouldn't say it's like top tier, like it's an incredible like whatever, but I think that in terms of just pure fun, in terms of just pure entertainment, and to what the spirit of Wallace and Gromit is, I think that it's well captured, well maintained, and generally just a good old time with this really really fun duo. So those are my thoughts on Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. You guys let me know your thoughts on the film if you guys have seen it, and if you guys are familiar with the series, we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. If you guys are familiar with the short films, as well as the original feature film, let me know all your thoughts, and your thoughts on Aardman as a studio. What's your favorite pieces from Aardman? Like I said, I really like Chicken Run quite a bit because of the layering social commentary that is there. But let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.